Good evening. We need today to present our Subtask-03. It's about public transport application. So throughout the system, there are three main users. So the first person is actually he's behaving like an admin. So he's a public transporting manager, and the second one is the inspector who's really dealing with all these routes, and third one is the passenger. So let's log into our system and see what sort of functions that are available. So this is the main the preloading the landing page for the application, and this is the login interface. I'm going to log into the system as a
in login interface also you have login plus reset setup. And login interface no need to use reset. Login forward password.
So here is place that you can enter the username and password. Login. So here is the main interface for the public transporting manager. So as you can see, he can delete and edit the details of the user in here, and all these routes and all these journeys, and passengers with no tickets, and here's his profile and the logging out. So let's go through the functions first. As you can see here, you can register a single user. So his name and email and password and his personal information by selecting a location, and just like that. So there's real-time validation is there, right? So there's a secret question that you have to answer, and the passenger role is registered. Just check that user.
Can you delete the user and show?
Delete the user. And you can search actually. You can search through the user IDs and names and showing all this. So it's already loading here. So for the next feature, you can see all these routes, and he can add a route here. Add a route number. He's the one who's really responsible for adding and deleting all these routes and dealing with these networks and sub-network things. So he can assign an inspector.
Inspector name, user ID from user name.
So it's going to load as an object, not from the name. Assign more than one inspector is possible throughout this system.
No need to show the user ID, then you have to display the name. Don't show user ID equal part, then you can display, okay, you whatever the name and something other user specific details by using space or something, right?
Kind of that.
Yeah, you assign that one to a particular route, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
Oliver. Yes, Oliver is okay. And you can delete one. Let's get in this. This is the network management part. So you can select the starting and ending area by giving a description. That's what we have done at the class diagram. We specifically said that there are sub-networks for each and every transport network and routes, and there's really a transportation type. So successfully added, and you can assign a sub-network here by selecting a specific route that we have previously added before, and you can set and delete things.
If you enter starting and ending area both as the same destination, so what will happen? Will it let you to enter, or did you validate those things? This is start Colombo, end Colombo.
Interesting about that, because practically nobody's going to like that, so that's
Nice.
so so the available all the journeys will be displayed here, and he can save the journey details. Basically the start time and bring up the distance and the cost per 1 kilometer, and also he can get the given value for the discounts, and by signing submit per ID, same journey details, right? And you can even cancel if you want, right? So getting all the traveling details. It's just a place where you can search all the available traveling details by entering the start time and end time. So there's really a problem with this loading. So the case for this. And you can do the profile. So here is the profile, and he can update his profile. And profile of the currently logged in user. That means he's a public transportation manager. So here is his details. He can update his details, reset, and he can log out. So now it's going to be the task for inspector. I hope.
From the provided design, how many functionalities did you implement?
Provided design systems.
The previous group, whoever the group, did you get some kind of design diagrams?
You really get the design, but just concerning about this design and the basic idea was not there, right? So
you have to modify it.
Modify it, and we have to build it from the scratch.
From the scratch, you have.
So
then whatever the modifications
has
you have to add for your
class diagram.
Class diagram
Yeah.
and okay.
Yes, it's simple class diagram that we have.
Did you reflect those things in the reflection report?
Yeah, yes, for the critical reflection. So here is the main interface for the inspector. So he can look up the relevant assigned routes for that one. So he is really assigned for this route, for route number 1, 2, 3, and by here are all the assigned journeys, and we could use assigned journeys from the check journeys. The reason why you use these check journeys is the places that the journeys that he have assigned for, and
can you add anywhere is
should I go through the passenger, right?
Table loading into that. After that, the computer crash.
it work?
So here is the user profile, and here is the login thing. So the main reason that we use this is actually I'm gonna describe in the theoretical concepts. So now you can log into the system as a normal passenger, right?
So there's the methods we implemented.
Okay. No, what are the other functionalities did you implement in addition to these?
For the passenger.
Passengers.
Yeah, passengers.
Tell me all functionality, passenger, inspector.
Inspector and public transport manager.
No problem.
Here's the passenger, his account, his details, essentially time, this is his profile, and he can here is his credit card details and his account.
So in your source code, did you generate Java documentation for the source code?
So there are a couple of
And in Java documentation you can attach separately, right? So when you deliver whatever the source, open the DVD again. Close. So when you generate, I think you can add the Java documentation things for your source code, right? There should be a separate folder in your project, mention Java doc, and whatever generated thing you can add it over there.
So there's some
We have some comments that we did for the.
No, not comments, Java documentation. Documentation is it should have classes and methods, that should be generated. Right? Mention what are the parameters there and stuff. Did you use version control or something?
Yes.
GitHub. GitHub. Okay. Did you use any design patterns for your application? How many design patterns did you use?
That's on a single thing.
Single.
Yeah.
Where, which location did you? Now this is the place.
Single session, the single session. Just to
So it's
take
single.
the
Did you implement unit test cases?
Yes. So, Java
Okay. The Java documentation, right? Okay, unit testing. How many test suites did you implement? Okay, how many test suites? One test suite or 4 test suites? One test suite. Why? 4 members are there, so you can have 4 test suites.
there are more images.
Now here you have to do at least covering at least 4 classes including tests for some. I think here they mentioned like 4 tests. Okay, it's fine.
So 4 classes, maybe 4.
4 classes.
How many 4 classes from one?
Okay, open one class and show it. Transport network or something.
Okay, you added 5 hard coded things.
Okay. Can you run this test suite and show me how all did everything get passed? Did you implement negative test cases as well?
Yes.
You are reporting, right?
You can change the format of that email. So it returns false and it gives a negative execution. And for this validation thing,
Being wrong email address.
Okay.
it gives a false. So we
Right.
provide this type.
For the validators also we implement.
There's an unvalidated, it's also returning a false value.
How about the user acceptance testing? Before that, can you show me the source code? How about the commenting? You added comments? No, not test cases. What are the other implemented?
It's in project 2.
Yeah, in the project. Not views. Whatever the implement service or something.
Okay, services. Let's go to the services. initial class comment, and here the method level comments.
Oh, not method level comment. Inside the method, you can't put method level comments, right? It should be outside the method. Method level comment, you have slash, asterisk, asterisk, then you
This is the thing. So this is multi-line comment, right?
yeah, this is a multi-line.
So, the reason why we use this class something, and the reason why we use this.
Yeah, structuring, you have to think about something more, right? Whatever the services, not utilities, okay. You can send email and those things as utilities, but you have to have separate service implementation and stuff, right? Okay, how about the user acceptance testing? Yeah, show me the document.
So yes, and the evaluation approach that we use for implementation. Okay. Do I have to describe this thing?
Yeah, explain how did you
Um,
not heuristic. For the user acceptance testing in the scenario, how that user, what are the things that you consider for the users when the user is performing that particular functionality? When that user click a particular button, and so from there onwards that user is
it
proceeding.
actually comes under this this ethical evaluation. So there is so this ethical evaluation. It's something. So in this consentive thing, well, before having this this testing thing, we explained then about the outlines and the outcomes of this system, and we use a set of predefined usernames and passwords, and using the
Let's say user entered invalid details or something.
So it's,
how about the system is going to react for the user?
so it's giving an error message by saying
Ethical consideration, not that one. That is user evaluation. I will come to that part later. I mean now, when that user is going to test particular scenario through UI,
yeah.
did you use
We have used
test
that
cases
for
and something?
the deletion. For the deletion thing, we use
No, not that one. Now, let's say whether you really pass a particular data or something. Okay, use evaluation. Fine. Okay, use evaluation. What sort of evaluation techniques did you use?
we use heuristic evaluation.
Why did you use heuristic
Because
evaluation?
if we present the expert review concerned about this expert review thing, when you evaluate the
Did you use domain experts as well for this
domain
evaluation?
experts and
How many
domain-
members were there in the evaluation panel?
10 members.
10.
Okay. How did you get the outcome of the evaluations and aggregate and compile into one solution?
There's really a survey for giving them a questionnaires and asking them to giving them forms. So this is a feedback form. By concerning the values of this feedback form, we're gonna tune up the application. So sometimes the non-domain expert can give a feedback like it could be a burden for the application. So those decisions, those
Did you
those-
ask any open-ended question?
Yeah,
or-
open-ended things. Yeah, open-ended questions. Yeah.
Okay, how did how did you identify? Did you give some kind of rate or something?
Yeah, rating in something like this. Yeah, the excellency, satisfaction, marginal, and unsatisfactory. So there are 4 things. Interfaces are efficient, and throughout this form, we're going to evaluate about the system, and based on those things, and based on the mainly based on the domain expert ideas, we're going to fine tune the non-domain experts ideas too, right? So then the modification is done, right?
Okay. What sort of ethical consideration did you consider about ethical consideration?
So this consent and confidentiality purpose of testing. So these are the 3 types that we use to evaluate these ethical considerations. And we'll explain this consent.
Yeah, right. Confidentiality. So whatever the
Yeah, mainly when there's
sensitive data you are
yeah,
not going to
sensitive data not
expose
going to
without
expose.
having
So
user's
this is
consent.
like a central authorize for the disconnect port, right? So sometimes two places might have same data, so one another can.
Based on the user's feedback, how did you fine tune your system? What sort of feedbacks did user give for the data?
You're asking about the redesigning, right?
Yeah.
The redesigning thing after having these things, mainly the users simply who are using applications, they are not really domain experts, but they mentioned that you have to come up with an the user friendly, the usability of the thing, the wow factor must be there, right? So the wow factor must be there. So you have to come up with a landing page, and just progressive bars, something interactive must be there, right?
What sort of interaction design concepts did you include and for this system when you are going to implement, or at the end of the user's feedback or something like that, or heuristic evaluation? If those users suggested, right, evaluator suggested something that you have to add for this system, did you consider those things?
Yeah, those things are actually for the heuristic evaluation. These are the main components that we have. So by mentioning these components, so if these components are inside our system, that means that we already follow this heuristic evaluation. So visibility of the system, that means the reason why we use this text box is the user can simply trace where he is at the moment, and so then he can know the place where he is now and the operations that he is going to execute. And for the next thing, this is the preloading page. So when you tick this logo, it's actually just giving you an attraction to the system, right? So if this is there, so based on the those comments, we just added this preloading thing. There's a loading please wait. So then user know that the system is already executing, right? And the match between system and the real world, that means the phrases that the keywords that we use is actually just matching with the scenario and the case study. So when he's a first time user, so you don't want to think twice about these terms. What is this? So all these things actually just linking the user and the system together by using these real-time things, keywords. And next thing is the user control, just granting the access levels that we have mentioned into 3, and to keep the consistency and the standards. So when it's come for the designing phase, saving, updation, deletion, and the searching fields is actually it's coming in a standardized way. So here's the standard for the add and delete and
you used icon and
more
interactive.
Yeah, interactive, right? So there's a route, so there's an icon for the route, and journeys and user profile, and for the logout, right? So user will get the first time experience when after seeing these buttons. And
did you consider only users interacting through keyboard, only using tab focus or something, or does that user wants to really move in between the keyboard and whatever the mouse time to time? Did you think those things? How about the
we thought about that as in terms of the performance. So we calculate these. This KTM model. So by using this equation, we just calculated that approximate value and exact value, and calculated how it's going to be the performance for this implemented application.
In this calculation, what are the things you are going to eliminate, or what sort of things you are going to focus?
Mainly, it's about the
What
way the
is
user
the thing that you want to reduce or something?
like
Which time?
the mental preparation time or something.
In addition to this one, what are other things that you do? Only these things, right?
Yeah, I'll just calculate these things in order to show the performance. So here is the test case rewritten to validate that the theoretical value for the standard logging and the observed time and the error presentation.
Okay, fine.